Blue Wolf and Friends presents Camp Here and There. Episode 65. Humans are Monsters.
Hello? Why, hello there, Sydney. Well, not Sydney. Lovely little tape recorder that I acquired. Such a quaint plastic thing. Oh, I bet this is just how Sydney would do it. I am on my way to the gas station to get, and I quote, snacks. Considering Mavis completely blundered the simple errand, it is my duty now, begrudgingly. More Butterfingers, and perhaps a sort of sugary iced beverage. What is it called? A slushie? Yes, that's it. I would like a slushie. Ah, that old ball and chain, Heaven 11. Like a dominant mistress stepping on your chest while you're tied to a headboard with a bank statement in your mouth. A whip-cracking, leather-clad economic crisis who'll make you beg for a safe word before she takes the last 20 from your wallet! Oh, I am but a slave to your whims, my gasoline-guzzling queen. But who can resist the delectability of a little crunchy delight? Some peanuts and pretzels, and perhaps a cashew if we're feeling bold. And of course, of utmost importance, urgency, and pertinence, my big red slushie. I am bringing the tape recorder for company as I possess certain feelings for my charge whom I have been permanently separated from, though permanent is no doubt a hopeful delusion. But regardless of the future in which he comes back to me, there is only now, and now is destitute, a bit lonesome even. I just wish it weren't the case. But a slushie of the bright candy red variety, oh, that should get my spiritual car revved. I have dressed for the occasion. Snug jeans, a large Letterman jacket, and my latest and greatest acquisition, a baseball hat embroidered with an enormous screaming cucumber. Incognito. All American. I believe the cucumber design is tailored for those who, with Mary Jane, though I cannot possibly imagine what a cucumber has to do with my Cervidae nurse and her adopted pet. The clothes are fun. They are fun. They are what you expect of a demon of my stature, or maybe not, but I've glued plastic horns to the baseball cap. Ah, Heaven 11 approaches. I squint at the sodium lights of the parking lot and bare my teeth in delight, flashing my canines for the benefit of the station's exterior security camera. If the digital serpent reviews the footage tonight, I want it to gnaw on this image like a dog with a marrow bone. The demon Adam, in sport casual, braving the oil-caked world for a hit of wondrous sucrose. Ah, it's the old kind of gas station. Not one of those post-ironic, self-aware franchises, but the authentic death trap, with hand-lettered signs, flickering aisle bulbs, and the faint underlying rot of an old mop. I could live here. I think I could make a fortune. Oh! The heaven of neon! The vacuum shriek of the door sensor, the artificial chill of forced air. I take a moment to pose near the lottery ticket display, one hand in pocket, one hand running through my immaculate hair. I scan for witnesses. The cashier is not watching. He is viewing his phone at the counter, illuminated in blue. 2 teenagers are viewing the various snack aisles. Otherwise, it is only me, and thus all pleasure is mine to savor. The air is thick with the scent of wet gum wrappers and ambient malaise, but I press on. These are simply the trappings of modern commerce. My quarry awaits. The highest finery. I slide through the sliding doors, slip past the 2 ratty high schoolers debating the merits of grape versus lemon lime in the universal hierarchy of congealed beverages, and march straight to the machine itself. I approach, rolling my neck, already tasting the chemi sweetness on the back of my tongue. Out of order. There is an out of order sign strapped to its birth canal like some sort of chastity belt. This will not do. I consider the dilemma. There are 2 levers, blue and red. The blue is Arctic Blast, but the red is Cherry Revenge. The red is my passion, blood. The red is my right. But the red is broken. I try the lever anyway. Nothing comes out but a wet, slushy cough and a tremble from the heart of the machine. No. No, this is not justice. It's for a moment that I'm standing there, languishing in the raw reptilian agony of slushy denial. The sensation is electric. I've never felt disappointment like this. And it's how I know that I am terribly, beautifully alive. Time for action. Step 1. Remove the offending sign. Like the amputation of a necrotizing limb, swift and lacking sentimentality, I ball it up, shoot it underhand into the pyramid of off-brand cheese puffs. Nothing but net. I approach the man behind the counter, the only other important living thing within this mountain of temptation. And he has the look of a man who hates, and has never not hated. It oozes through the cracks in his jaw. He's mid-50s, patches of missing beard, and stains on his shirt in mysterious and forlorn liquids. Ahem. Excuse me, sir. Your Chill and Thrill beverage dispenser is out of commission for Cherry Revenge, I am told. Can you solve this for me?
No.
Why, I never! Well, this will not do.
Why are you talking to a tape recorder?
Excuse me. I am talking to my charge on the telephone. This is Sydney.
That is not a phone.
Oh, I beg your minor indulgence. If I do not return to the camp with a vessel of cherry viscosity, I will murder my assistant in cold blood and without impunity, and it will be your fault. There are only 2 outcomes here. Your triumph or your agony.
Soda or energy drink? There's ice in the soda machine.
Is this customer service? Is this the famed, charming American hospitality? You misunderstand, sir. I am not, how you say, from around here. My people have a condition. We need the crunch. The flavor sensation that fractures tooth and bone alike, suffused with the forbidden taste of artificial cherry. If I fail in my errand, a chain reaction of doom will follow. The counterman appears immune to doom.
I'm on break.
Oh, you could let me fix it, you know. I am preternaturally gifted at mechanical things. One could say even fated.
Not allowed. Insurance.
So this is how the great dreams of civilization die. But if the machine is not fixed, you lose valuable revenue. You risk the integrity of your... I scan for a name tag. Earl, you risk the integrity of your position in the snack-based economy. He runs a hand over his stubble.
The world keeps turning.
Defeated? No, never. I am made of sterner stuff. I shove my hands in my letterman's jacket, pat the inside for loose change, and prepare for subterfuge. Step 2. Persuade with action. I loiter by the rack of discounted cellophane-bagged treats, rattling through the options like a dog among pepperoni sticks. Like a feral dance. Up, down, left, right, sample, sniff, discard. I make eye contact with the camera, give it a little wink. Sydney would appreciate that. In fact, Sydney, this is for you. I select a super hot dog, a foodstuff so conceptually beleaguered it must be eaten purely for the experience of abjection. I pair it with a blue raspberry ring pop and 3 tiny tin foil-wrapped nut clusters, and arrange them like altar offerings on the counter.
$5.18.
Is this the part where you ask, will there be anything else? He does not, but I supply my own answer. Will there be anything else? Ah, yes, the restoration of the slushie machine, please, if it is not too much to ask.
$5.18.
I slide over $6, coins only, savoring the inconvenience. He glowers at me. I crack the ring pop open and mount it on my pinky finger, brandishing the sticky gemstone at the entire store. For you, my love. May this ring symbolize our union and also our collective disdain for the limitations of man and machine. I will bring you a slushie, even if it means setting fire to the world around us and extracting it raw with my own bare hands.
I'm closing up in 5.
A man of conviction. Savior of the night shift. But you cannot stop me. Challenge accepted. I skirt around the counter under the pretense of checking the batteries, but in reality I'm aiming for the door to the back room. Earl blocks my passage, arms outstretched.
No customers past the counter.
Sure, but what if I worked here now? I am wearing team colors. I could be the mascot.
Not hiring.
I could unionize. I retire to the candy aisle, regroup. I whisper a few choice words at the slushie machine, maybe if I can frighten it back to life. The machine stays silent, locked in the deep freeze of corporate rot. But then, epiphany! I spot the out-of-order placard. My earlier victim I balled into a crumpled corpse, now nestled on a different machine. The hot dog roller. I see Earl's game. I see his moves before he makes them. A test of will. A duel of signage. I wait for him to busy himself with the nightly lottery report, then move in, shifting the placard to the automated coffee spout instead. He notices immediately, resets it, then stares at me with an acidic glare. Fine. If it is war, It is war. I filch a stack of complimentary napkins and use them to craft a series of increasingly desperate slushy machine repaired free samples for all notes, which I stick to the front window in full view of passing motorists. Earl rips down the first two, ignores the third, and finally, in retaliation, disables the sullen yellow light above the beverage island, plunging the area into a dark submarine blue. It is beautiful, actually. I pivot, snatch a bag of spicy Cajun corn nuggets from the impulse rack, and begin reading the ingredients. Corn, vegetable oil, maltodextrin, which is just a fancy word for processed sugar, yeast extract, yum, glue, wood glue to be precise, oh, and spices in all caps. Mysterious. Wait, is there actual fire in here? Contains soy, fire, possible traces of wood shavings. Incredible. The other two customers in the store who were previously thinking of buying these nuggets of corn shimmy away uncomfortably. That leaves only me, Earl, and the haunting, inescapable stench of disappointment. I decide to try another strategy: distract and seize. I tiptoe to the end of the counter where the plexiglass barrier leaves a 6-inch gap, and I slide my arm through.
Hey, cut that out.
I just want to look. He shoves my arm back swiftly. I'm forced to withdraw. You should do what I ask because I am so charming and persuasive, if you allow me to be.
You're neither.
The next 10 minutes are a ballet of tiny hostilities. I accidentally move the out-of-order sign instead to the pretzel machine. Earl moves it back. I try to engage him in conversation about the Yankees. He roots for Cleveland. I drop a can of Green Horse Monster energy drink. I demand to see the store's insurance policy, in case of personal injury, you understand.
I will call the cops, dude.
You wouldn't dare. And then he pulls out the phone. Heroic. By the 5th round of this, I am dutifully sweating from the exertion of creative mischief, though I come up with my strongest ploy yet. I will pay you $1,000 in exact change if you fix the slushy machine immediately.
You don't have $1,000.
I produce a Ziploc bag just bursting with silver coins.
No way.
Count it. He begins to, out of morbid curiosity, and then gives up. Instead, he rings up my supposed new purchase, a single pack of grape Laffy Taffy, the worst kind, and enters it for $999.99 at the register. What?
That's the price.
I pay, of course. Sydney would want me to pay. And because it is extremely funny, I make him count all the quarters. At 3 minutes to closing, I make one last stand. I collect a random limited edition soda from the refrigerated tomb, shake it with the force of some centrifugal nightmare creature, and stride to the counter. Is the slushy machine fixed yet, Earl? If that is your real name.
No.
Step 3. I raise the soda, crack it open, and, subtle as a hand grenade, slam it downward. The can detonates. A carbonated geyser erupts, showering the counter, Earl, and myself in a glowing wash of blue, mysterious, artificial dampness. Earl does not flinch. A true professional. I take a bow. Thank you for your excellent service, good sir. He wipes his face just once, then without a word, trots to the slushy machine. He opens a panel, flicks a switch, then the compressor gurgles, coughs, emits a deep and hopeful whir. Slowly, like an arthritic glacier, the barrel of the red fluid begins to turn. It is not fast, but it is turning. And there is hope in this world yet, if only for a moment.
It wasn't broken.
Earl returns to the counter, dripping with synthetic neon, and resumes scrolling his phone. I step lightly to the machine, take up one of the disposable cups, and pour a slushie so red it nearly violates the Geneva Convention. Oh. The taste is heavenly. The best thing I have ever drank, and I've drank the blood of God. I leave the store sticky, radiant, ringing the digital bell above the door for good measure. Outside I find a bench and make myself comfortable among the warm electric glow. The slushie leaves a stain on my lips, like the mark of a long-lost lover. Sydney, you would have loved this. You will love this. I will bring you the next one, wherever you are. And that Earl! Oh, I have witnessed true cruelty tonight, Sydney. Voracious and unimaginable cruelty. Humans are monsters, Sydney. But I forgive them every time. Because it works out, doesn't it? Because there is much, much worse. Never give up.
Today's episode of Camp Here and There was written and directed by Blue Wolf. The role of Up and Adam was performed by Dio Garner.
The role of Earl was performed by Benny Silver.
With original music composed by Will Wood and produced by Jonathan Maisto. Additional music composed by Kyle Gabler and Another You.
Dialogue editing by The Leo.
Sound design by Blue Wolf and Another You. And a special thanks to patrons for making this possible. Special thanks to
Ackknife, Lily of the Valley, and Rigor Mortism.
To join them and to get behind-the-scenes content like bloopers, development notes, early access to episodes, interactive events, and more, visit the Patreon at patreon.com/bluewolf. You can also join the official Discord server to connect with fellow listeners and discuss the latest episode. Find the link in the description of today's episode. And finally, if you'd like to support the show and ensure we can keep going, the most meaningful thing you can do is to help spread the word. Thank you for listening to Camp Here and There. And remember,
my favorite gas station lunch meat is turkey breast.